again guys, and welcome to another video. It's been a while since I uploaded a video of a piece of artwork. This one took me about 2.5 months, but I'm not really too fussed about that because I've been wanting to draw Commander Shepard for a while now, and I never could find the right reference photo. Everything I found was really pixelated. I mean, this one was pixelated as well, but when I saw it I thought like, that would make a really nice drawing. It was right up my street basically. I modified a lot of it, added some things in, like a galaxy sky behind. I say sky, but you know, space, galaxy. I added some neon lights kind of sitting inside the suit as well. I wanted some white lights, kind of like LEDs. And I also added an Omni tool because let's face it, you can't have Commander Shepard running around without his Omni tool. So let me get into explaining what I'm actually doing here, because I know at the minute it's looking like a bit of a mess, but I promise if you hang on for 1 minute more it'll all make sense. Basically, on the reference photo there's a lot of purple ambient light, and this kind of fades out to a really nice blue on the back of his neck and then out to white. It's also seen in the hair on the side of his head, which was really hard to reproduce. I had to scrape away some of the crayon with a scalpel and then add the blue back into it, but it worked quite well, quite happy with it. You've also got the scars from the Lazarus project, which is a term from the game, and they are the orange scars on the side of his head. So it's a very unique contrast between the purple and the orange. I also added in some skin tones like Ruby Earth, some of the dark burgundies, Venetian Red, and this gave me like a purpley flesh tone. But under all that is actually violets and like an ultramarine kind of vibe going on. This is how I created the blue and violet ambient light also on the side of that face. You can see it on the side of his nose, his forehead, his cheekbone. When I added the purple skin tone over the top of that violet colour, I didn't eliminate it completely, so it shines through, if that makes sense. Now on the other side of his face I used more traditional skin tone colours, and this is why I said just wait on 1 more minute and it will make sense, because when I was using the traditional skin tone colours it gave the face more of a complete look. Okay, so on to the galaxy, which is an additive of mine. It wasn't originally on the reference, but I wanted it to look a bit more spacey. I also wanted it to reflect the ambient light in his face and in his suit, so there's a lot of purples and blues again. I used the Caran Neocolor Used. They're like water soluble wax crayons, and then once you add the water and they mix together you let them dry. I went over with the Derwent Lightfast and created a galaxy. I originally did it because I thought it would be a challenge, but it wasn't too hard actually, and I've actually done this as a tutorial in a previous video, which there are some good tips in there on how I actually did it. But if you don't want to use them, you can still recreate this by just colouring out with the Derwent Lightfast and then adding mineral spirit on top of it. You'll still get the same effect. And also as an artist, that kind of knowledge on how to create a galaxy can be very useful because it ties into so many different things. It's also cool, let's face it. So if you want to know how to draw a galaxy, just go back and look at my video. Some great tips in there, like I said, and let me know how you do. The suit was the reason why it's taken me over 2 months to finish this drawing, which is daft really because most of it is black, as you can see, but it's also a metallic suit, and that takes a long time to draw. Takes a lot of effort and dedication to pull that off and make it look real. I also wanted it to reflect the ambient light, so that means blue metallic. So I basically just grabbed all my blue pencils and went for it. I've got Arctic White, was it Arctic Blue? I'll list all the colour names in the description again, I can't remember half of them. Pacific Blue, Midnight Black, Midnight Blue, Sapphire, they're all in there. There's also Mars Black to blend it all out, and this is the reason why it takes so long. I've got to make it look metallic, I've also got to blend it into that black and make it look real. I've got an N7 logo which looks awesome by the time it's finished. That was one of my favourite parts of the suit. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I've also got them embedded LED neon lights, which also took a while to make look real. The neon LED lights in the suit, whatever you want to call them, were a bit of a nightmare to draw. I wouldn't say they were hard, they were a bit of a nightmare. Once I knew what I was doing, the second one went quite quick, but like I've said in previous videos, like on how to draw a flame, your darks make your lights. But it's also a metallic blue suit, so I had to use a dark blue. So there's some Indigo and Mars Black around the light. But you want a harsh edge, but not completely harsh, if that makes sense. So I had to add an edge of like Pacific blue around it, a really small edge. It sounds really easy when I explain like that, but there is a lot more complication to it. So I'm actually going to turn it into a tutorial next, so I can explain exactly how I did it properly. Because as a realism artist, knowing how to draw lighting is also great knowledge to have. Finally, I'm onto the Omni tool, another add-on of mine. The reason why I added it is because it's one of the coolest things in the game, is Shepard's Omni tool, and I thought you can't really draw him without it, so I hope I got the proportions right of his arm and the actual tool itself. And also I knew it would make my drawing pop a little bit, like you'd notice something on the drawing a bit more. Basically how I drew it is the same as how I draw fire, which again is also a really good tutorial on my channel, how to draw a flame. A lot of you like it, so go look at that if you're interested. But the only difference with this Omni tool and fire is that I had to make it look a lot more transparent, because it is basically just hovering over his arm, and I did that by adding the colour underneath once I've laid down them yellows and oranges. So it was basically Mars Black and Magenta, and that's what gave me the transparency and the really nice glow effect. I'm actually quite surprised how well it's turned out, to be honest with you. Okay then guys, that's me done for another video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed drawing Commander Shepard. I cannot wait for the Legendary Edition next month. Please like, subscribe and comment, and thank you very much for watching.